So just for fun, we have a new problem. The window right behind me, it doesn't go up anymore. Doesn't matter what button you push. I tried all these buttons. I tried the remote, because I have the remote program, so if I press and hold lock for 2 seconds, all the windows will close. It doesn't close. It just died. Just out of the blue. It did no warning or nothing. It was fine, and now it's down. Now I'm wondering, how long has it been down? Has anyone else noticed that damn window's been down?
The next day.
So, happy Mother's Day. So, happy Mother's Day, Cookie. Cookie's a mama too. She had 5 kids. 3 of them still live with us. The other 2 have gone off to other families a couple years ago. But happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there. Right? Right. All right. So, this morning we spent some time and went through every single fuse in this car. And there's no issues with the fuses. All the fuses are good. I even swapped them around and I checked the location, checked the resistance, checked for grounds. Everything is good. There's nothing wrong fuse related. There's no reason why this door and window shouldn't be powered up. What I did discover yesterday was it's not just the window. The whole entire door does not have power now. The power locks don't work. The window doesn't work. It doesn't even illuminate. So for whatever reason, it does not. There's no power here. The only thing I can get when I scan it is no comm. There's no comm on the, what's that stuff called? Whatever, the CAN bus. The CAN bus has no comm for whatever reason to this door. So I've pulled everything off. I've pulled the interior door panel off. This is just the handle, because who cares? The door doesn't work anyways. I've checked the control module. The control module looks brand new. I opened it up, looked inside it. There's nothing wrong with it. So I don't know why this. Well, there's one other thing I can check. The wires coming from the pillar to the door. I'll check those in a minute. I checked all of these wires for grounds and continuity. There's nothing wrong. The only thing I was able to do was to get the window to go up. Let me show you how I did that. So what I did was I took the power window wire right here. Has, you guys can't see because you're too far away, has 3 wires on it. It has a ground and an up and a down. And with my multimeter here, I can switch positions and I can use this as a battery. So if I switch it to the, right now it's in the up position. Let's see if I can get it to go down. Oh, yeah. So let me switch this to the battery side. Okay. And then what I'll do is I'll hold one of these leads, doesn't matter which one, I'll hold one of these leads to the down wire and the other one to the ground. And what I'm using for ground is the door anchor here, because it's unpainted and it's into the chassis frame. So let me move this so you guys can see the window right here. Yeah. Okay. So put it on here, and all I gotta do is touch it. And the window goes down. Then if I want the windows to go up, I'll just switch that back to the other position, like so, and then touch the same connection and ground. Oops. That's it. That's all as far as I've gotten. I can't fit. There's nothing broken that I can see internal to the door. So I'm going to reattach the door card here and then continue troubleshooting. Okay, door card's back on. Let me show you how to take this door card off, if you've never done it before. So you got to pop this off. I left it off on purpose so I can show you. You got to pop this off. Get a tool in here. This is plastic, so if you use the screwdriver, you could break it. Recommend using a plastic panel puller. So pull that off, and then there's a screw inside of there. It's a T. You guys can see it. See that? One there, and there's one up there. Those are T27s. And then there's a tiny screw down here at the bottom. That one. And that's a T20. So two T27s, T20. Then you start working from the bottom, get a gap, and start pulling on it. And you got to yank it pretty hard. And when you yank it, the clips will pop out. Some of the clips will stay in the door, before you reinstall them, take them out of the door, put them back on the panel, and then that will give you the leverage to reinstall it. Once you have those 3 out and the clips out, and you start pulling from the bottom, pull from the bottom on either side, work your way up. When you get to the top just basically sits in like that. So you just lift it up, and it will come out. There's the window sheet I was talking about. I just wanted to check that it still works well, and it does. And the door's back on. And the window is closed. It's the most important thing, because now we can put this thing back outside. Due to this predicament, both the Audi and the Porsche slept outside last night. Next step is pull this off and check that connector. Maybe, if we're lucky, the connectors just came unlocked and is not there. But none of this works. It's dead. It's all dead. Well, I don't want to push the window button in case it does work. Window's up. So since the window's up, I want to leave it up. If I push that button and accidentally goes down, I have to take the damn door card off all over again. So we don't want to do that. Why I hate pulling these things off, because it has a little, I'll show you with the screwdriver. It's got a little plastic clip. See that plastic clip down there? It goes into here to give it a nice tight seal. And I popped it off. Now it's going to be a pain in the ass to pop it off. But the good thing is these wires, just first initial look, they look fine. And the lock is in the right position. It's not unlocked. I don't think this is the problem. Also, see these bigger wires here, the ground wires? I checked those for continuity, and from here to here, they're good. There is not a break in that wire. Those are ground wires, and they work just fine. So I'll unlock this and look at it, but I don't think this is the problem. I think the problem is further upstream. One thing I just thinking about, on the front door, it's got the little lock button right there in the middle. That doesn't illuminate. It's supposed to illuminate when you press it. It's the child lock, so you can't open and close the rear windows. It's not illuminating right now. So that's giving me more confusion, but making me think about where else could this problem be. So let me pop this off and see if this is the issue. So no cut wires. Pins are all seated correctly. Backsides look good. The only thing I could check for continuity of the wires, I could check it from here to here, that door control module. But I already checked that when it was plugged in, because I checked this connection to this ground and everything was good. And I checked resistance of each wire for ohms. There was no open wires. So this is not the problem. But I wanted to rule out things. So that's why I pulled it off. So this one's good to go. I got to get this bottom clip in first, and then you snap in the top. It's not easy because my hand doesn't even really fit in here. But we'll try. Got that back on. That was much easier than I thought it was going to be. Just hold the lock all the way down, and it'll slide all the way in, and it won't let you push the lock up if you're not doing it right. So you can't install it wrong. And then I inserted the bottom of this and snap right in. So this is done. And the window's up, so the car can go back outside. I think we're not going to mess with this door for right now. More troubleshooting I need to do. I'm going to start, the next I'll go to the front door. It might be that control, it might be the switch panel right there where the control is for the rear doors. It might be just that panel that's bad. But we're not going to mess with it anymore today because it's Mother's Day and we're supposed to be doing Mother's Day things, not wrenching on the cars. So we're going to windows up, the car can safely go back outside. I still don't know how the hell I'm going to lock the door because the door lock doesn't work. I haven't figured that one out yet, so I'll have to do some research on that. But at least it's the back door. For now, we just won't leave anything valuable in the car, and we'll lock all the other doors and hope for the best. This car mostly stays in our driveway. It doesn't go out too often, so it should be okay. And actually, if someone steals it, then we don't have to deal with it no more. So I'm not opposed to that either. As far as the engine goes, I have one more trick up my sleeve. I think I'm going to buy some Molly engine flush, and because the car's due for an oil change anyways. Driving it around yesterday, it does drive better, it idles better. So I think what I'm going to do, even though I've done it in the past, I've swapped around spark plugs and coil packs and everything else. I think I'm not going to swap them all around. I think I'm just going to swap 1 and 2 just to see if it gives me a different misfire, because it almost always gives me 1 and sometimes it gives me 1 and 3, but it never gives me 2 and 4. So I think maybe I'll just swap spark plug and coil pack on cylinder 1 and 2, drive the car around, put the engine flush in it, and then do an oil change. Maybe it's down to, maybe the fuel injectors that I took off were bad. So that's not a waste of money. They were actually bad. When I pulled them out, they were clogged pretty bad. There was fuel behind the fuel injectors stuck in the fuel rail because the injectors were clogged and they couldn't get past the injectors. And then they were also leaking. So as you pulled them out, there was fuel in the cylinder that shouldn't have been there. So this thing just probably needs a good engine flush. Hopefully, if there's nothing mechanically broken with it, we'll do that flush, we'll drain the oil, we'll service oil, and we'll drive it, and then we'll let you know, did it improve? I kind of have a good feeling that it might. The only other thing that it could be, there's only one more thing left that it could be, and it could be a bad cylinder head. If we have a bad cylinder head, I didn't see a crack in the block, I don't see oil leaking out of there. Definitely could have a bad cylinder head. So that's the only one remaining thing that's out there. And if it's a bad cylinder head, it's probably not worth fixing. The amount of money it's going to cost to replace the cylinder head, yes, I can do it myself. And yes, I've done it in the past. I have no desire to do that at all, especially on this type of engine, this CCTA engine. No, thank you. I've done it on a Volkswagen Corrado G60 in the parking lot of an apartment complex. I've even rebuilt the top end and bottom end of that car in the parking lot. I was also 26 years old, so it was easy to do. Now at a little bit older than that, it beats the living crap out of you. I felt like I got hit with the sledgehammer when I woke up this morning. My whole body was sore. So I have zero desire to replace the cylinder head on this car. There's 2 ways to look at it. 1, it's a waste of money because the car is not worth that much. Or 2, even if I throw in a whole new motor, then it's like having a new car for far less than buying a new car. So while I might be venting and ranting now, I may change my tune in the future. All right, I figured out how to lock the door manually. So there's 2 steps I'm gonna do to lock this door. So once it's locked, you cannot open it. So step 1 is we're gonna pull, and do them in this order. Don't do it the other way because then you're stuck. So step 1 is, so you'll find this little cap on the edge of the door, and you see it has a little lock feature on it. So pop this thing off. When you pop that off, underneath, that's the lock cylinder. So what you can do is you can turn this lock cylinder to the, I think that's the unlock position. We'll test it. Nope, that's the lock position. So now the door handle doesn't work. So to open it, you gotta open it from the inside. Okay. And if you put it in put it back in the other position, you'll hear the lock cylinder move when you do this. So that's in the other position. Should work. Yep. So to lock it from the outside, just turn your lock cylinder to the other position. It's very subtle, but you can hear the lock cylinder inside turn. Now the other thing you can do, you can also turn the safety lock on so you can't open it from the inside. If you do this and you did this, you will not be able to get this door to open. So don't do this one. Only do this one if you want to lock it from the outside. If you only want to lock it from the inside, just turn on your safety one. But don't do this one because then we're going to be stuck. Unless you lowered, no? I don't know how the hell you would get the door open if you did both of them at the same time. I wonder if I do this one, will it affect the other one? Let's see. Nope. Well, tempting to find out, but I think not. I think we leave it in the unlocked position. So let's lock, close door. Door handle doesn't work. Inside handle should work. Yep. Because then I guess the only other way to do would be, if you did both of these, would be to pull this door panel off. Well, you can get to these two screws, but you wouldn't be able to get to the bottom one once the door is closed. So you'd have to just break the panel. Yeah, so don't do this one. Only do this one if you need to lock your door from the outside. Put that back. Door closed. Oops, forgot to switch it back. My bad. Forgot to switch it back. All right, door is locked from the outside. And I forgot to put this back on. Let me add a little piece of something that happened while I'm editing this video. Something happened after the end of that video, just for the fun of it. And I really, really, really want to throw a Molotov cocktail at that damn car. So when I pressed the lock button on the remote, the very next morning, I went out to the car, and you saw that I just locked the back door. So I went out to the car the next morning to take my daughter to work. It was dead, completely dead. I actually couldn't take the Porsche to work with that day because I was doing the serpentine belt, so I had the airbox out of it. So I ended up taking the Audi, I think is what we ended up doing. So I came back, and I was trying to figure out why the hell it was dead. I had to manually open the door, and even after I manually opened the door, it was just, the alarm didn't even go off. So I was sitting there struggling to figure out what the hell's wrong with it. I put that meter on the battery. The battery was down to 4 volts. So I grabbed my little jump pack, put it on there. Car came alive. Then the alarm goes off. And then I just started the car like normal. And it started right up, and it was running fine. Great. I just thought maybe it was a fluke. So I checked it with the meter. It said 14. It said 14 volts. So the alternator's working. I think we're good to go. I go inside. I think I went to go eat lunch or something. I come back out. Car's dead again. I was like, what the hell is going on? So same process. Unlocked it. Now I'm kind of freaking out. I'm checking every wire. I'm rechecking the fuses that I checked the day before, and I'm rechecking everything. And so I watched some YouTube so I can get some ideas of how to check things, and I could see that the damn car had a parasitic drag. Well, for whatever damn reason, the car had 2 amp draw. I don't know from where, because I pulled fuse by fuse, one by one, and the draw never dropped. It stayed exactly the same. I finally got frustrated. I said, I'm done with this. I put everything back together, pressed the lock on the remote, and I watched the little red LED in the door flash 2 times and then stay on. And I was like, why is that still on? So then I unlocked it, and then I did it again. And when I did it the second time, the LED, it did it again. It flashed 2 or 3 times and then stayed solid red. That made me think, the reason the LED's staying red and not flashing and then going away is because the CAN bus system is still looking for that rear door to go to a lock position, and it's not getting that response. So the computer is running, trying to talk to that door and see what its position is. So then I pressed it in unlock. So everything's unlocked now. I opened the doors, and I flipped the lock hook over so it was being sleep mode. And the back door is already locked. So I did that to the front door, and then I walked away, left it for 30 minutes, and I came back, and the draw was gone. I said, okay. So then I put the meter on my battery, and I had the battery was about 12.1 volts or something. And I said, with the battery, with the terminal post completely disconnected, just the battery, because I wanted to make sure my battery was good. So just the battery connected to my multimeter. I let it sit for a good hour or two, and the battery almost lost nothing. So the battery's good. So now I know the alternator's good, the battery's good, all my fuses are good, but for the computer is running in the background. So this is so stupid. This is how I have to lock the car now. You get out of the car, you walk around to the passenger side and press the lock button on the passenger's door, and the doors will lock, and everything is secure. When I want to unlock, I'll press unlock on the remote, everything unlocks, and it works like it should. But if I press lock on the remote, the driver's door the LED will flash, and it'll stay solid red, and the computer in the driver's door is looking for comms to the other doors. I think my problem is in that driver's door. Now, right now, you can see where I'm at. That is a picture of the Capitol in Boise. So I'm not with the car, so I can't fix it right now. But that's what we're gonna do next when we get the chance. We're gonna take apart the driver's door and see if we can find where the problem is in that door that's causing this issue. Of course, if we still have an engine issue, this doesn't mean anything because I'm probably going to get rid of the damn car anyways. So hopefully we can fix the engine issue, fix the misfire, fix the driver's door, do all these things and keep rolling. And then we can get that Passat off of life support, because right now the Passat is on life support. The next video is going to have DIY on the Porsche. We have a major component we're changing in the Porsche, and we have some maintenance items that we're going to change in the Porsche as well. So stay tuned for the Porsche video that'll be come out in the next week.